hybrid. And if you're not joining us on YouTube, you could also be joining us on TikTok. We're doing 2 different platforms live at the same time. What I'm going to do is take you on a quick exterior tour of the Ford Maverick Hybrid, and then we'll jump inside, go for a drive, and talk cars. Doesn't necessarily have to be about the Maverick, but we'll go through. So this is, just got dropped off an hour ago. We hadn't filmed any full videos, so I figured I'm so excited about this. Let's do a live stream. Maverick Hybrid starts at $19,995. That's before destination, so it's just over 20 grand, and that's for the base XL trim. Let me just check really quick. Everything good behind the camera?
Can you just hold this one more time?
Want me to hold this one really quick? What's going on there?
Okay. Well, I just needed to see which side I could. Okay, so I do need to hold it with this hand.
Okay, here we go. We're doing multiple platforms at once.
The comments come up on this side, so I had to switch hands. Okay.
Makes sense. So this is an XLT, which I think is a little bit of a shame. You can't get Steelies on the XLT as far as I'm aware. I played around on the configurator a little bit. So I like the base wheels with this particular package. This has the best interior. Can't wait to show you guys. So let's just do a quick walk around because it's kind of chilly out here. Of course, it's a small truck. This one being the hybrid's rated for 42 mpg on the highway, which is just amazing. It can tow about 2,000 pounds. It can have about 1,500 pounds of payload. Thing looks awesome in this color, doesn't it? I think this is one of the smartest designed vehicles. The point of this is to mobilize America. In my opinion, I'm not like paid by Ford. I just think it's like the best price point, the right size truck, and people are excited about it because we've already been stopped out here multiple times with people interested in this vehicle. Take a look in here in the bed. You can see, I actually don't know how long it is, but it's a pretty small bed, 4 foot, something like that. And then you can see a wall outlet right here for some pro power. You have 2 12-volt connections somewhere under here. Yeah, I don't know. It says 12-volt DC. Yeah, there must be one under there, but I don't really see it. Anyway, we'll dig into it when we film our full reviews. Genuinely have only driven the car over to this parking lot, so haven't spent too much time with it. But let's get inside. I'll show you some cool features. Let me try the back seat first. So first of all, speaking of fuel, I mentioned 42 mpg on the highway. I think 30 something in the city. It's a hybrid model, front wheel drive only. If you want all-wheel drive, you got to get the 2-liter, which is like 1,500 bucks roughly, and then another 3 grand for all-wheel drive. So I think this is the one to have. Base engine, base spec, go for like cheap truck stuff. Let me jump in here. If you see, actually, the front seat's where I sit, and it's pretty tight, but there's a lot of padding in the seat where I actually fit. So, and I could move this seat up more, of course. So if you're like a crew of landscapers or whatever, you're just using it to haul around a small trailer, yeah, you can fit 4 or 5 people in here in a pinch, 4 more comfortably, I'd say. If you take a look at the coloring, everyone's like, oh, it's harsh plastics. Why do you like it? Well, I just think it's textured nice. This is a nice soft touch material, and I love these orange bits here on the door. Can they see that, Alyssa, there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really good. You can see it, these bolts that have this view, really, really nice. Anyway, let's go for a drive, and I'll show you a bit more of the interior on the dash. So I'll get to you guys in the back seat. Here we go, and then we'll answer some questions if there are any. You all buckled in there?
All buckled in.
Nice. Any questions before we start immediately?
It's just,
what's up?
It's just hard. Okay. Let's go over the pricing of this specific spec. Mm-hmm. And is it a PHEV? What's the MSRP? All that stuff. Can we just go over that?
Yeah, it's not a plug-in hybrid, just a regular hybrid. And yeah, base price 20. This one's 27 with destination MSRP. And because it's an XLT with the XLT premium package, which gives you like heated seats, heated steering wheel, I believe this little display in between the gauges, I could be wrong about that, and a few other things. And this awesome interior comes with XLT. You can option the Lariat on top of this. And the one thing that I think is interesting is Ford offers a Copilot 360 for this truck, and you can get it on the base truck with no options except Copilot 360, which is great lane centering. So I think that's really awesome. I think you're crossing the camera views over here a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where I can kind of, okay.
It's the first time we've ever done a live stream.
How much is the 4-wheel drive, do you know?
Reviews. Yeah, the 4-wheel drive, I think I just mentioned it. It's like $1,300 more to get the 2-liter, and then another $3,000 or something to get the all-wheel drive. So it's expensive. It's like $5,000 more, plus or minus.
Okay.
Well, let's start this thing up and go for a drive, and you can just spit out questions, and we'll talk about some things as they come up.
All right. Does it have EV mode if you drive slow enough? What's kind of the electric side of it that it has?
Yeah, we'll find out. Let's play around with that. Again, I'm just getting in the vehicle for the first time, so we'll try that for sure. Let me see what drive modes we have. We have normal, tow haul, slippery, eco, and sport. So I guess to see the top speed of EV mode, we'll probably want to go to eco. There's no like EV button though. It's got a pretty small battery pack. I want to say around a kilowatt hour plus or minus. I don't think it's much more than that. And I've configured this screen here in the center to show sort of at what point is it electric or not, because there doesn't seem to be another gauge. Maybe there is, that shows if the engine's on or not. There's nothing in the system here at least.
Do you think Ford will release a full BEV version of the Maverick?
It would be a lot more expensive, that's for sure. I don't really see the need. This is already, you know, very efficient and very affordable. So maybe I think it'd be cool. I'd like that, but I'm not sure it would, from like a mass, you know, sort of efficiency on scale perspective. This Maverick's already going to do a ton. So we're accelerating in electric mode. We're at about 15 miles an hour. I have this little gauge that I can go past. Pretty good acceleration in electric mode, I have to say. We're over 20 miles an hour in full electric, and it seems to show no signs of giving up. At some point the battery's just going to run out, and now we're regenning down.
Do any models come with a glass or sunroof?
I don't know if the Lariat does. I think the point of the Maverick is to spec a base one, in my opinion. And so there, the engine just kicked on, the combustion engine. And so if you're going to spec a base one, then just go base, or maybe one up to this XLT. I just think the orange accents in the interior make the entire truck. This seat design, if you take a look here on the passenger seat, just this combination of materials, I think is really wonderful. And again, the reason we're doing a live stream is this just got dropped off. We didn't really have a video that we wanted to put up today, so we just figured we'd go live on YouTube and talk about this. What do we have coming up for questions, Alyssa?
Does it have remote start?
It does. That's part of one of the packages on this vehicle. It's not standard, but it has a physical key with remote start. And yeah, I'm sure it'll cycle between electric and combustion to warm up the cabin, would be my guess.
Do we know what the wait time is on a Ford Maverick right now?
I think it depends on the dealer. There's probably some immediately available, and the likelihood of those that are immediately available having markups is quite high. Yeah, I think you just got to shop around. I think just call every Ford dealer. I'm sure I would not pay over sticker for this car. I'm sure you can find a dealer somewhere in the country that will sell you one at sticker. It's a quick flight out there, and just drive it to wherever you live.
How responsive is the UI?
Really responsive. It doesn't really do much. It does have Apple CarPlay, which is great. So I haven't tried it yet, but I don't know if it's wireless or not. I'm actually not a big CarPlay fan personally, only because it gets in the way of me filming, and I like to review the standard systems more or less. But you can see here, it responds nice. It's a beautiful display. There's not so much that you can do with it, but what do you really need? The point of this is to be like a basic car, not to like compete with a Tesla in terms of integration or things like that.
Do you know what the towing capacity is for this one?
Yeah, so it's 2,000 pounds towing, I believe, and 1,500 pounds payload for the hybrid. I think it's 4,000 pounds if you option the 4-cylinder turbo engine.
Does it have Android Auto as well, or is it just Apple CarPlay?
I don't know. If someone's watching, can you Google that and let us know? Again, I haven't done any research. The thing just arrived, and I don't have an Android to try. But I know at least it does have Apple CarPlay. And I would imagine it's full screen because it's a pretty small screen. But I think it looks nice. You know, I was on Twitter earlier today, which is always a dangerous thing to be on. And I posted a picture and I said, I love the interior. I thought it was stunning. And I think it is a wonderful interior. And people were like, it has buttons. Ew. And I'm just maybe starting to realize a little bit later than everyone that there's like this war on buttons going on, where when people see a button, they think it's bad. And I don't get this at all, because it is so nice just to go over here and hit a button. Buttons are a great tactile way to interact with the car. You have these nice switch gear. Everything feels really high quality for being such a inexpensive vehicle. And I guess that's what you get when you have the Ford's parts bin where their brake pedal tuning, feel, and calibration is similar to Mach-E. And while I'm not a huge fan of it on Mach-E, I think for 25 grand or whatever this is, can you really complain? No. It's really, like, things feel nice in this truck. And I don't understand this war on buttons thing. I own a Tesla. I love my Tesla. I've owned them for years. But why? Like, I kind of wish it had some cool buttons and like, let's just, it's okay to be a little different.
All right, enough with the buttons.
Enough with the buttons. Sorry, it just annoyed me that, like,
Jeez.
everyone was against buttons. What is, does our audience say anything about buttons?
Well, I'm just trying to get to where you started talking about buttons.
Just bring whatever pops up.
So Kyle is about 6'1", just for a reference for everybody. It seems like he has pretty good room. I'm also, just so everybody knows, I'm 5'10", but I have really, really long legs, so I probably more compared to somebody who's 6 foot. And my legs,
huge leg room.
Oh yeah, huge leg room once you pull the seat back. But I was sitting in here earlier, so that's about the room you get, which is pretty good. And like Kyle did mention, it is soft, so it's not a hard back on your knees, which is good.
Yeah, so they can slide into the seat here a little bit.
Right.
Are you filming the back of the chair there, Alyssa?
It's really hard to hold too.
Really? Okay, then just end the TikTok one. You can just quit out of it. Just hold up on the middle and then swipe up, to quit out of an app.
Okay. All right. Some people don't mind the buttons at all, and with owning a Model 3, it's a good balance between the two. As long as the buttons are done correctly.
What does that mean? So
I don't know.
Like, don't do buttons like Toyota where they are not in a cohesive place, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Because you'll get like seats on one side and then your heated steering wheel will be somewhere else. All your heating stuff's here in the center, I guess, is what it's done well here, I would say. The only thing I would change would be to put the temperature on this side and the fan on that side. But that's nitpicking. I mean, if that's my only issue with the car so far.
Right.
We're doing pretty well. It's got a pretty good sound system too, this one.
Someone requested that we go up Horsetooth.
We probably won't, just because of cell service.
Right. Oh yeah, that's very true. So right now we're driving through downtown Fort Collins, and we're going, I guess, heading back towards our new office. How is the road noise? I would say pretty quiet.
Yeah, but we're going slow. We haven't really had it up at speed. When we get past the office, we can bring it up to speed a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't tried it yet. Feels pretty good, I gotta say. I think if you get higher trims, they have like a laminated windshield. I don't know if this one has it or not. Let's try not to run anyone over here.
She's going straight.
Yeah.
Ask Kyle how he feels about the row of buttons you could configure, and it has a little screen to show new function.
Okay, I'm not familiar. Can they explain that?
Yeah, if you could elaborate on that, Matt.
There's a row of configurable buttons. I don't see those.
Yeah, I don't think we have that in this car.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
This is the hybrid.
Yep, we're in the Ford Maverick hybrid. I think it says that in the title, actually.
Right.
So they must have known that by clicking on the video.
Any news on a Raptor Maverick? I wouldn't think so. You just get the Raptor, though.
That would be the coolest thing ever, though, wouldn't it? Have one of these with the 2-liter all-wheel drive with like the Focus RS tune and nice long travel suspension. It's the right size. I'd be all for a Maverick hybrid. But first I want the Transit hybrid.
What's the CVT transmission?
I'd like to see the Transit Raptor first, to be honest. Are they asking if it is a CVT?
They just asked what's a CVT.
What is a CVT? It's a continuously variable transmission.
Asking what it is on his.
Yeah, I'm explaining what it is.
Oh.
It's a continuously variable transmission that's installed in this car that was invented by, I think, Leonardo da Vinci, and been around forever. And basically it's a totally variable transmission where you're not locked into a set of predetermined gear ratios like a traditional cogged automatic transmission.
People are asking what that box is.
Okay, but let me finish explaining
It's
what
nothing.
a CVT is. Yeah, we'll get to it. So this is just nothing, it's space. Yeah, so the CVT basically just lets the engine have totally different RPM at different speeds, totally variable. And what that allows is for the engine to have predetermined run speeds that are more efficient or more powerful. So if I go full throttle here for a second, it'll spin up and hold that RPM because that's where you'll get most performance. We're going by our new office here. If you happen to live in Fort Collins or swing by and say, hey, we're there all the time. Except when I'm not there. Anything new coming up, Melissa? Sorry, what was that?
People have asked if we're gonna do an office tour video soon. Maybe just like something to actually have like in our videos if we're walking around the office. But I don't think it would do too well on any of our channels.
It's not the type of content that we produce. You know, the point of our office is so that we can make videos more efficiently for all of you. And to film the office, like if you really want to see it, let us know. We'll film it. We'll film whatever you guys want to see. But I'm not sure it makes so much sense to just do a spotlight. Look, an EV6 on the right, parked in the parking lot. Wow. How do we get over there?
I don't know.
That's sweet. All right, let's go track down the EV6. It's the first one I've seen in town.
Do you see a point to the Ranger now that Ford has the F-150 and the Maverick?
Yes, the Ranger still has, I think, a solid place, but not the current generation. I think the current generation is probably the weakest Ford pickup truck on sale. It's old, it's nearing the end of its life cycle. The new one has the opportunity to really cement itself as a Tacoma, Nissan Frontier competitor, both of which are at the top of their game, especially the Frontier. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Frontier, and it's a really good truck.
Yeah, we need to get back on the main because our cell service is lagging.
Oh, really? Is that what everyone's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is the tow capacity again? Explain to people.
Oh, well, I mean, we don't need to go over it over again, but 2,000 pounds towing, 1,500 pounds payload, I believe, on the hybrid. And then if you spec the all-wheel drive 2-liter turbo engine, then that, I think, is 4,000 pounds, plus or minus.
Does the ride of the Maverick feel similar to the baby Bronco?
Yeah, I would say. We got some wee-woos going by. Nice. That's the new ambulance. We just got that one in town, actually. Cummins, thing's sweet. You don't see very many ambulances on Ram chassis. The ride feels great. Really perfectly tuned ride, I would say, so far in my experience. It's because this one's front wheel drive and everything feels pretty front heavy. Here, let's try some acceleration, actually. So, full power. Here we go. Wow. It's the first time I've nailed it. that's pretty fast. I didn't expect it to be that much. That's pretty good. All right, so we got to find whatever parking lot that EV6 was in.
It was back there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's somewhere back over here. That lot right there. Okay, let's see if we can get into it from this side.
I don't think so.
I totally agree. I don't think so. Yep, not possible. But we can at least see the front of it from over here. Nice. Looks good. Looks like a wind trim. I don't know. Mid-spec. I don't think it's a GT line. Could be. I don't know. I go back and forth on the styling of EV6. What do you guys think? It's the new Kia electric car. I'm sure our audience knows, but for some of you may not know. Anyway, what do we have coming in, Alyssa?
Just some repeated questions. So the
Anything important?
a lot of people love the EV6.
Great.
People want to see a fully electric Maverick.
Yep. Why is that you want to see a fully electric Maverick? I guess it makes sense, but would you rather see a fully electric Maverick or a plug-in hybrid Maverick?
This is a this isn't a plug-in.
Not a plug-in hybrid.
No.
I guess I would like to see a fully electric Maverick too. I just feel like that would get so expensive so quick. And the point of this truck is it's 20 grand going up and over the curb. Yeah, I think that's a downside of just having a front wheel drive package is you can't get much angle.
A
on the
lot of
front
people
wheels.
are saying definitely fully electric is what they would want.
Interesting. So you'd pay another 10 grand, even factoring in tax credit, to go fully electric over a very efficient hybrid. I probably would too, but I'm just curious. Yeah, fully electric Maverick would be sweet. Why not? I just think it just comes down to cost. When you're already spending that much, well, then you could probably get yourself a pretty cool electric car. I don't know. Little electric work truck does make sense. Alyssa, remember when we were in Munich, we drove the Evum? We have a video of this. Remember that? The bright green little truck thing?
Yep.
And that was really cool. And I was into it, and it was really expensive. So I don't know why I'm concerned about price now, and I wasn't earlier.
How are the brakes? Well, we'll have to do a brake test here.
No.
Okay, no.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh.
Nice brakes.
They're very good.
It doesn't weigh that much. Just the thing feels light, so it stops real quick. It's brake by wire, so you can't feel any ABS come through the pedal.
How is the responsiveness? How responsive is the accelerator?
Lord, there we go. So you gotta nail it, combustion engine on, build RPM, then apply big torque.
Right.
Not like an electric car, but not bad, because people don't drive like that. They're in this sort of flowing traffic. You just want to inch up a little bit, and there it's really wonderful. And Ford's CVT tuning, as much as I'm against CVTs typically, is fantastic. It wouldn't even bother me, and I would buy this drivetrain over the 2-liter turbo version.
Does the differential have LSD?
No, I don't believe it's a mechanical locker. It probably uses the brakes to sort of simulate a limited slip differential by applying torque to the wheel with less traction. And then, I should say, applying stopping torque, which then applies forward torque to the wheel that, in theory, would have more traction. Okay, cruising through. Nothing to see here. Ripping it. This thing's awesome to just cruise around in. Wow, what the perfect size. This is like the best car to drive around the city. So we're in eco mode. Wow, and it still feels that good. So that wasn't even the best representation of response. Here, I'm gonna put it in sport mode really quick. Wow, instantly the throttle sharpens.
Is there any features that you wish that were included? Or any features that you're disappointed with in this car?
I can't really find anything I'm disappointed with, truly. And the one feature I wish this one had was Co-Pilot 360 lane centering, but it is available as an option, and it's less than $1,000. So now here's response in sport mode. Ready? A much faster response, and much more eager to get moving, and it's quick. I actually don't know what this is rated for in power. Maybe someone could look it up, but it feels fine.
So what's kind of the storage in here? Well, we haven't played around with it much.
There's a little cubby here on the next to the screen.
There is that little
There's
cubby.
another one over here. There's door pockets that are not crazy deep, but they do go pretty far back.
Yeah.
And
you can't fit like a big water bottle in there or anything like that.
I would agree.
It's almost very basic.
It's almost as if the truck's pretty narrow and they needed to maximize space for interior, and I think they took the right compromise, because you can really squeeze this down some little tiny streets, and it's really easy and nimble and great to move around. So I'll give up a little interior, but then a huge center console here.
Does the unibody design of the truck make it drive like a car?
Much more like a car than a truck. You don't get this truck wobble over bumps. It's soft. It's really well tuned suspension, considering it's a pretty basic design as well. Like, this is really well done, and it drives like a car. I would have no idea there's a truck bed back there.
Yeah, I also drove it as well, and I don't think I've ever really driven a truck, a big truck. Yeah, big truck. And I felt pretty, at ease driving this. There wasn't really, it just felt like driving a car, honestly.
Well, I have to say, like, we've never done a live stream on out-of-spec reviews, so you guys need to let us know if you like this, if you don't like this. We figured it would be in place of, like, if we don't have a video to upload, we'll just, do a live thing, and we'll try and schedule it so you know ahead of time. It's more experimenting. But I will say the Maverick was the car I waited for to try our first live stream, because I think it's just that cool. And we just did 90% of that acceleration fully electric, which is wonderful. I'm going to go back into eco mode because I think that's the best way to drive this thing. It's just to cruise around using as much electric power as possible.
Well, here's a question that you will love.
Okay.
What does the horn sound like?
Whoa! Great horn! Oh my goodness!
Kyle loves to just randomly beep the horn when we're on a...
It feels like it's pointed into the cabin. that's so loud.
Yeah, that's a lot louder than our van.
The Sprinter has the
Oh my
whippiest
gosh.
horn ever. Yes, the horn test is very important.
So what's the ride height like? Does it feel like a mid-size SUV or more like a truck?
It feels smaller than a mid-size SUV. I mean, we just had the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, and I think I felt like I was sitting higher in that vehicle than even this one. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I feel like I'm in a car.
Right, but I feel like getting in and out of it, it's definitely a lot easier than...
Should we show them? I'll just pull right here. We'll do a little ride height in and out comparison.
Right. And also, just for everybody's reference, if you're new here, Kyle is around 6'1", so this is pretty much his...
physical key.
Yep.
We're with, we'll try the remote start. Let's get out and let's try some stuff.
The door handle's up here. I was trying to go down here where I normally go, but it's actually higher, which is interesting.
Yeah, classic door handles, which feel a little bit cheap, but again, the truck's meant to be cheap. I think what gets me excited about this is finding all the ways they saved pennies here or there and then still made it kind of interesting. For example, let me show you one thing I noticed earlier. Getting in or rolling up and down the windows is only one touch down, express down, but up you have to hold it. And I thought that was really an interesting situation there. So what am I showing again? Getting in and out, right?
Yeah, just kind of the ride height
Also,
and stuff.
what I wanted to show, maybe it's just the back doors. I think it's just the back doors. But they kind of slope up here a little bit, so if you are opening your door over a curb, it doesn't ding it. So ride height, you can see it's pretty low. It's not like, these trucks over here are much larger.
Yeah.
So it's significantly smaller than that, but I think that's a good thing. And it's below butt height, so I still get to go down getting into it, kind of like a car. And I have to lift up a bit getting out. So pretty low to the ground.
Right.
Let's get back in.
And here's also just the back interior, just so you guys can get a better full view of this. You really don't get too much. You do have your fold down drink holders and stuff. Armrest.
What do you think about the angle of the back seats? They're pretty forwards, right?
I personally like to sit up pretty straight, so it doesn't bother me. I wasn't bothered at all. So
let's try the remote start. 2 times. There we go. I can hear the heater running. Screens are off. The only thing it says is to drive, turn key on. But it's already blowing air, preconditioning it, and it's not running the combustion engine. It's doing this all off of electricity right now. So that's nice. I wouldn't do it in your garage because eventually the high voltage battery will run out, but that seems pretty good. And then you just put this in, rotate it to on, and it's ready.
So now we're getting some questions about the bed of the truck. Do we want to kind of go through that right now, or maybe go through that a little bit later?
We'll show the bed in a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Let's continue driving. I like driving this thing. I'm going to put it back into eco mode. Shows me that you're buckled up back there. That's kind of cool.
It does?
Yep. Back to eco mode into drive. Make sure there's no bicyclists we can run over, because that would not be good. Actually, as I'm getting more into bicycling, we have a new channel called Out of Spec Scoots. We've been riding a lot more. I do worry about cars and stuff not paying attention.
You've been riding on all the trails that are not in your cars.
Yeah, but I've
just been thinking about it now.
Too.
Now when you see bicyclists, you get a little bit more worried.
Yeah.
So how do you think the visibility is?
Amazing. I can see everything all around.
Yeah, I
The only thing
agree.
that might be tight is this pillar by your head. If you show that, is a pretty wide pillar.
I guess that's the sound system. So if you really do blare that in my ear, I will not be happy.
Yeah.
That is right by my ear. So that's funny.
Yeah.
Usually they're in the doors, right? The sound system.
Depends on the car.
Okay. From my experience.
Has auto hold, so you don't need to put your foot on the brake to hold the car. How nice is that?
So this is a manufacturer car. This isn't our personal car. This is something that we've got loaned to us for the week. So if you guys do have any, your dad goes, how fast is it in reverse?
We'll test that later.
Yes, well, we'll let you know privately.
Yeah, I don't really think we should be rolling around these neighborhoods.
No, especially where we are. We're like, there's like all the Paul Blarts are out here.
Yep, mall cops.
They really are the mall cops. They're like not even.
Look, I love our town, but they're a little bit too heavy on regulations.
Oh, and it's on the silliest things too.
Yeah.
Things that you're like, oh, you should really not pull me over for that, and maybe go pay attention to something else. But
look at that right-hand drive Japanese van. That's like a Delica. That's pretty sweet.
It looks like a mini Unimog.
Not quite.
Okay.
Still alive?
We're good now.
Okay. The Mercedes, and everything creaks and rattles and feels plasticky. This thing is screwed together.
But it looks like plastic, but it doesn't sound like plastic.
Yeah, it looks like plastic. It does feel hard touch, but like, who cares? Like,
but it's
cheap.
obvious. Like, we know it's going to be plastic. While in a Mercedes, you're like, oh, this should be nice. It looks nice, but then you like poke it and it squeaks at you.
It's a very honest car.
Right.
And I think that's the review, is like, it's not plastic trying to be nice. It's plastic, but like in the quirkiest kind of cool way. And I love the colors. And yeah, I'm actually surprised by the squeak test, just how nailed down everything is. That's impressive. There goes the turf.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly enjoy the truck. I think it's just so practical, and I love practical. So it does everything that it says it's going to do, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, well, we haven't tested the economy yet, but I'm really looking forward to getting this on our 70-mile-per-hour highway MPG loop. I think it's going to do pretty good, would be my impression. Maki just went by.
Sure did. So is the reception better for everybody? I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, sometimes we're not sure if we're actually broadcasting or not.
Right.
Just because even though we're downtown, our reception is not good.
Is my phone up there?
Oh, look next to us. This is a Texas edition truck. And the cool thing about that is you can only buy that in Texas.
You look so tiny compared to that. To get it into frame. And it's towing some massive, that's a heavy duty work truck right there.
You cannot tow that trailer with this.
No. No.
How do you think the reception is, Alyssa?
I haven't gotten any feedback about reception. It's quite choppy, but doable, working good. Okay, so it seems like reception just got a lot better because I just got a flood of notifications. Okay. So sorry guys, we are trying to get to where better reception, but honestly, cell reception in Fort Collins is just not the most reliable.
We're just getting fiber. They're just coming into the 21st century. That bus is making some noises.
Is there a leather option? No, I don't believe so.
Yes,
there is?
Lariat.
In the Lariat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm curious to what the Lariat would be.
I think it's like a brownish leather.
Well, just like what I mean...
I don't think
I don't know.
That.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to get a high-end truck... Uh-oh, we got a...
Tire low. So I noticed this earlier when I checked tire pressures because I wanted to see if I needed to, adjust them from factory for our MPG loop. And I noticed the back left was at 28. This is a couple hours ago. It's still at 28. So it's not like we're losing, but it did just pop up. So we'll keep our eye on that. I do need to fill it either way.
Do you think this is more of like a good around the town type truck, or do you think that you'd be comfortable actually road tripping it?
Oh, nothing's stopping you from road tripping this.
Right. But just in terms of comfort.
I drive across the country and there's no problem.
Right, okay.
Yeah, great seats. Honestly, I think better seats than the Mach-E, base Mach-E.
Yeah, and you're able to do your man spread and all that stuff.
Spread out, chill, do the whole thing.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think, like, for if any of you guys are bigger guys, I feel like you'd have plenty of room, and the seats are not, like, restricting or anything where they're in or anything like that.
Big guy friendly.
Yeah, definitely big boy friendly.
Look at this dog. Running.
Oh, he's pretty.
Yeah, that's a cool looking dog.
It is a cool looking dog. So is there a 12-volt plug-in in the bed of the air pumps and all that stuff? Yes.
Yes, we did see 12-volt signs back there. Also a 120-volt outlet. So here we are doing 40. Can we get it to drive in electric? Yes. Even at almost 40 miles an hour, this thing's driving fully electric. For a standard hybrid, that's good. Like a Prius can do that, but just barely. You know, I think this has more acceleration than a standard Prius, I have to say. It's kind of like, why would you buy a Prius over this, in my opinion? I don't understand why you would do that, because this is so much more practical.
I feel like everybody who's bought a Prius has had it since like 2008.
Well, that's just around here. They're all professors.
Yeah.
Every professor either drives a Prius or a Leaf.
But they definitely owned a Prius before they owned a Leaf.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a lot of agriculture and stuff at this school, and actually, like, my personal trainer, she majors in geology, which is like the most random thing for a fitness guru to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's really funny, but it's really awesome because somebody's got to do it. So there's definitely somebody out there.
Circle K, when are they going to put in some chargers? Our friend Brandon just started working there.
Yeah, so Brandon, put in some chargers.
Yep. Actually, our audience probably knows Brandon.
Yeah.
I thought it did, so I guess it's public. But he's got a really cool job there, selecting and installing chargers.
Yeah, Brandon Flash.
Brandon Flash.
Still can't believe this has a lane centering and the Defender doesn't. Not that the Defender is easy to get anyway.
Well, can we talk about that for a second? A Ford Maverick at $20,000 plus like an $800 option, plus or minus, can have Copilot 360 lane centering. $70,000 Land Rover Defender, one of my dream cars, I think my spec was like 83, doesn't have lane centering. If it had lane centering, I probably would have bought it a couple years ago when they first came out, but they didn't, and I waited, and it's still not out. Wouldn't you agree? Remember we were so close to getting one, Alyssa?
Yeah, we were actually. Well, it was between that and then you really just pulled the plug on this Revel, didn't you?
Right, on the Sprinter.
So yeah, it was pretty much between that and then the Sprinter.
What we wanted was like an off-roady adventure vehicle. And
right.
If the Defender had lane centering, I would have gone with it.
Do the Broncos come with lane centering?
I believe
yes.
Yeah, Copilot 360
yep.
on the Bronco. I don't think ours had it. Maybe it did. I don't remember. I didn't really drive that car too much.
So it seems like a lot of people would actually buy this car when it comes with the plug-in hybrid option.
Is that confirmed? I don't believe it is, though, right?
No, I don't believe it is, but I mean it's always
it makes sense
possibility.
To be a plug-in hybrid. They have the Escape plug-in hybrid, which is actually a really good driveline. Doesn't love cold weather, but we've tested that here on this channel, and at 14 kilowatt hour pack, it did 40 miles in the city on a charge, 39, I think. And yeah, that should be in this truck for sure. But of course, when you add a battery pack, you lose payload. So instead of carrying 1,500 pounds in the bed, now you can only carry 1,000, and that includes people as well. So you put 4 people in here, then you can't put anything in the bed. So you really have to focus on gross vehicle weight rating, but also gross axle weight rating for the front. You might max out before the rear. And so these are all the regulations as to why maybe there's no plug-in for this car. Here's a plug-in hybrid X5 45E. See this white one on the end?
Yeah.
Nice spec. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next time we stop, we'll definitely do like the under the hood and the bed stuff.
We'll stop in at our friends at Ed Carroll Motor Company.
Yeah.
We have some really good friends that work at the Porsche, what am I trying to say? The
Porsche,
Audi, Volkswagen store here in town. Should we try some performance? We haven't driven it hard, it's not the point, but I'm gonna go into sport mode and instantly brings up the revs. Good power. Let's hustle it through here a little bit. Under braking a little bit. Look at that.
Nope.
Wow, that's good. This thing drives like a car. It's awesome. And Ford chassis engineers are awesome because everything kind of drives the same, really nicely fine-tuned, a little bit vague steering. They're not like the best performance-y cars, but they are predictable, easy, safe, and actually kind of fun.
So we're having a debate right now on why Ford is not just going all electric with like even their trucks and stuff like that.
Remember that ID4 we compared to the Ioniq 5 in our video? That's this car.
Yep.
Thank you to Ed Carroll Volkswagen for loaning it to us. It's the
Yes.
manager's car. Rick, he's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do a quick tour of this thing, shall we?
What does the shifter look like? Well, we
Oh,
can
it's
tell
like
you
a
that.
Mach-E. It's just a rotating knob, rubber on the outside.
Whoa.
Well, put it in park accidentally. That hurts my mechanical sympathy. Yeah, so basically you just rotate it, and then the L will do full regen, but I imagine it's similar to the Escape Hybrid, that if the battery can't accept power, either because it's fully charged or because it's cold, it will turn on the combustion engine and use engine deceleration. Are we starting in the front or the back?
Let's start in the front.
Does someone know the horsepower? Can they look it up?
Well, we can look it up.
We can look it up?
Yeah.
Okay. First things first, when you review a car, know the price and the horsepower. What do we not know?
Price
of those
and the
two.
horsepower.
I think it's like 170, 180 horsepower, something like that. It may not actually say. I don't think it says on here. We'll have to look it up. If someone can Google search Maverick horsepower, that'd be great. Here's the engine. No engine covers here. It's all about low cost.
Mm-hmm.
And Atkins cycle 4-cylinder, so it can run a little bit more efficiently. Forgive some of the wind noise coming into the phone here. But overall, yeah, it's nice cabin. You can see some high voltage wiring. This looks to be probably like an onboard charger, something from regen style from the engine back in. Seems pretty simple. Not sure you'd want to work on it yourself. I mean, you could do oil changes and other things like that. And here's the bed. It's not really a dampened tailgate. Let's check. Negative. But I love this. Ford always carves in these little bit of like drink holders, just things that you can place stuff so they don't fall off, which is nice. This is the XLT with premium pack, or luxury pack or something like that. So it comes with the drop-in bed liner. But the nice thing about this is there's a whole bunch of predetermined holes for accessory mounting. You can buy caps for this. This plastic bit just comes off. You have these rails that are adjustable, so you can pull this out and lock it in kind of wherever and tie stuff down. You also have hard mounting points around. There's even a light in the bed. Take a look over here where you can turn this on or off. And here's your 120 volt outlet. It shows that there's 12 volt DC behind here.
What's that?
Yeah, what's in this? Looks like a shovel. What? Is this everything that's in here?
I guess you can fit your little shovel that if you can buy it.
20 pounds max worth of stuff. And look at this. There's even an underfloor or under one. That's crazy. So you could like, I don't know.
There's your storage.
There's your. That's kind of nice. I don't know if it's water resistant, but we can test it.
Does all of this come in the base model as well?
Most of it, but not the bed liner. I don't think this does. I don't know. I wish we could test one. We actually have videos of the base truck on this channel. Brandon Flash, who we were just talking about, went and did the first drive. I just wasn't there, so I don't know. But if Brandon's watching, he can chime in. He probably knows.
Does
Anyway.
the fuel cap have a lock of any sort?
Yes. So you have to click this fuel button here, and that will pop this. So yes, and there's no cap. It's one of those capless things.
Ooh, well, let's get back inside. My hands are freezing.
Back in. So we'll head back to the office, and that's where we'll end the live stream. And if people want to see inside, we can do that, right? We'll just end it inside the office, I guess.
Right. Yeah, you can do that.
Although we probably lose service going up the elevator or the stairs.
Well, yeah.
Maybe we won't do that.
Yeah. We'll do a little quick walk around review. Maybe we'll put it on our Instagram stories.
Which Instagram, Melissa?
The reviews.
Out of Spec Reviews Instagram?
Yeah.
Great.
So we'll put it on there and just do a quick little walk around so everybody can see our new office.
See if there's any cool cars here. BMW M550i Model Y Performance, C63S Coupe, RX 350L, the long wheelbase one, pretty interesting. Newer Audi A6, S5, A4, Model 3 Performance, base Macan on like the basest wheels, but with trailer hitch and crossbars from Wyoming. That's cool. Two old A6s. That's wild to see that. The one on the left has the V8. That's pretty rare. And then this is a V8 convertible S4, which is nice. 997.2 Carrera 4S. Great Colorado car. This is when PDK was introduced, and clear tails, Didn't always do it for me on the 997s. I prefer the dot ones with the sort of old school taillights. Audi e-tron GT on the best looking wheels I've ever seen. Wow. I hate every wheel option on that car except for those. Those look pretty nice. That's sweet. And what do we have over here? New Cayenne. This looks like an S. Yep, Cayenne S. That looks pretty sweet. We have a 718 in Miami blue. That looks awesome. There's a 718 GTS 4-liter, 997 turbo, 993 Targa. That's rare. Look at that over there on the end. That's super cool. We have 2 ID4s over this way. Blue all-wheel drive and a black rear-wheel drive. First edition, we've used that car. XC60 T8 plug-in hybrid. That's nice. And now that I've bored all of you to death with cars, let's get back to the Maverick. I love this thing. Driving it's so great. Like, I never want to stop. You could Uber with the Maverick, don't you think, Alyssa?
I mean,
Are there air vents back there?
no.
No air vents even here?
No.
Ah, well, there's a bummer.
Yeah, so not dog friendly in the back in terms of.
That is a downside. No.
So there's
no
our
vents.
first downside. But I feel like the cabin's so small that you don't really need extra vents.
That was interesting. I hit the throttle and the engine shut off because it had enough charge.
How loud or quiet is the exhaust?
Loud enough where you hear it. Audi e-tron looks good over there. Black pack on that one. Yeah, you hear it, and then if you really give it the beans, it's there, and it's a CVT. But honestly, you're not really going to be driving this car like that. You're just going to be kind of cruising, and it's quiet, subdued, and honestly, it keeps trying to live its life in electric mode as much as possible. So I lift off, and it's currently regenning. As I hit the brake pedal, it uses more and more regen. When this blends to white, there's friction brakes. So it gives you a good indication as to how much regen you can do to keep you at the max amount of regen before it blends to friction. I think it's really nice. Pretty front heavy, you can tell. There's not much weight in the back. You can feel it's not really a 50-50 weight distribution, but it's not meant to be a performance car, although I would love to see a Maverick Raptor like we talked about earlier in the live stream. Look at this Forester on with totally stock car except massive antenna and giant red mud flaps.
That is a really massive antenna. Why?
I guess they're ham radio enthusiasts.
Oh.
Yep. Do we have any comments coming in, Alyssa?
No, just casual conversation here.
Nice.
Should
I let everyone know what I'm doing? I mean, the live stream people can watch later, I guess, but I'm flying tonight to the East Coast to go do some electric car stuff. So
yeah,
that's why we're filming with the Maverick now.
Which modern EV has the most comfortable ride?
The EQS. No question, the EQS. Audi e-tron second.
Are you gonna stay where on the East Coast you're going?
Yep. Flying into New York, going to Massachusetts, to Connecticut, and then back to New York to come home.
Nice. Yes, so if you guys have any questions revolving around the Ford Maverick,
or just cars in general.
Yeah, or just cars in general, just go ahead and drop them below and I'll get to them.
This traffic light is the one with the camera that goes off instantly as soon
Well,
as
yeah,
it's
they
red.
can see it right
Yeah,
there.
so
They
we'll
have,
stop here.
they just got like 2 new ones built in, so they got one big one over there,
You know what's
one big one
interesting?
over there, one big one over there, and 2 over here too.
It doesn't prevent anyone from running the red light.
No.
First of all, because you just don't know. Secondly, they made the yellow light so short, so it actually decreased safety and then increased revenue, and it's just a disaster in my opinion.
Does the blinker / indicator do that thing where if you tap it, not fully engage it, it blinks 3 times?
Yes.
Yes.
You need to the point of resistance.
Right.
Blink 3 times. Yep.
Nokian 1 tires on the Tesla Model 3, yes or no?
Yep, that's what we have for our all-season tire.
Yep, we love them. Are you and I specifically
noise.
doing a road trip soon?
I don't think we have anything planned. Yeah, it's a little bit noisy in here.
Yeah,
I
it
would
is.
say. It's also windy outside, but it's not the most refined, high-speed experience, and we're only doing 50.
It does have power outlets in the truck bed.
Yep.
Our next road trip video will be going up on Saturday.
Yeah, we try and put them up on Fridays or Saturdays, and we try and do one a week.
Yep.
Actually, if you're going out filming a road trip video, let us know and tell us where you're going on the Out of Spec Motoring channel. We have a lot of audience that are starting to film their stuff, so may as well share it around. Look at this Nissan Rogue. He just dragged us and then slammed on the brakes. And we just accelerated normally.
Because he didn't realize that the treacherous Keynes line was right there, and now he's trying to get around it.
He almost caused like 4 accidents.
Wasn't the ID Buzz previewed in the US?
Was it, or will it be?
Wasn't.
It was not at this point yet. So they did a covered drive in Europe where a very select group of journalists, not including me, got to go drive it in London, and Bjorn got to drive it around Copenhagen. So they're doing some Euro stuff. They're sending some buses over here to the US to go to South by Southwest event in Austin, Texas. And so I'm planning to go to film it there. And that will be, I guess, I don't know how much, if they've announced what they're bringing. I know what they're bringing, but I don't know if I should say it. But yeah, not the big battery one.
Right.
That's years away.
So somebody asked if there's a pass through from the bed to the cabin.
No.
No, there's not, but there's the rear window thing
so I
that
guess
you can
kind
open.
of.
So kind of. Nothing. I mean, you can maybe fit a 4x4, maybe. That's
Fit a
about
what?
it. 4x4.
That just means it has 4-wheel drive. What are you talking about?
No, a 4x4
Maybe a
piece of
side-by-side.
wood.
Oh, a 4x4.
Piece of wood.
I thought you meant like
No.
4-wheel drive.
No, 4x4 piece of
What kind
wood.
of side-by-side or quad are you fitting in the bed of this truck?
Oh, goodness. Are we gonna make it to the California Tesla takeover this August? No. We're not into doing too much of Tesla get-together
No,
things.
I love to do it. I like
Well-
to meet enthusiasts.
Well, yeah, we did a lot in the beginning days, but I feel as though now there's so much more going on that going to something like that is.
From my side, it's like, okay, is there going to be something there that we'd be able to bring to our YouTube audience as new or interesting or something we haven't seen before? And typically with meetups, it's not the case. Now, I would go personally and not film a video, but it's not worth me traveling all the way to California unless we're going to film a video, basically.
Matt might road trip his Rivian to Colorado when he gets it. Well, please let us know, and
yeah.
we'd love to join you or do something with it.
Yeah,
So,
we'll have a Rivian coming for review in a couple weeks.
right, we will.
Which means maybe I actually won't go to South by Southwest because it's right around the same time. I haven't figured out we don't actually know the exact dates. We just know the week block.
Can we recommend a good way to secure your dogs' seatbelts in a Tesla?
A lot of those harnesses are not good.
Yeah, I honestly, I'd be the one to really ask that question, and what I really want to get is kind of like a roll cage to get inside of there to be able to make it safer for the dogs.
It's not really, you mean it's a crate,
No,
right?
it's a roll cage that you put in there, pretty much.
a roll cage, but the car already has pretty strong roof stiffness, so what is the roll cage going to do?
What?
What's the point of the roll cage?
It'll keep them from
So
flying
you
up
mean a
forward.
gate this way.
I think we definitely do need to get a gate for the in-between, especially for my transports. But as for restraints for the dogs, I feel as though the best are the ones that you can you could put something on the seatbelt here, and so they're able to still move around, but if it were to jerk, then they're not able to go forward. I'm not a fan of the ones that go inside of the seatbelts because, I mean, well, we have 2 dogs, so they always get tangled up, and then it's just a disaster anyways.
Yeah. What Alyssa said.
Yeah. What trim level are we in?
XLT mid-spec, the one to get, I think. But you can't get Steelies on this. So what you do is get an XLT, find a base owner who wants the nicer wheels, and put the Steelies on your XLT. Steelies are cool again. Ooh, new M3 competition as well. That looks good.
Oh, they're taking down all the lights today.
Oh, is that what they were doing?
Yeah.
This street has just been a disaster to drive on with traffic recently.
Oh yeah.
Not today. It's nice today.
Yeah. This man, he is resilient. He's really out there day and night.
He just says, this one, it says, kisses help, thanks. Last time it was weed or something like that.
Money helps, but weed helps more, I think it was.
Like
Do you think this truck would be a good camping vehicle?
No.
No, but my dad, what truck does my dad have?
He has an F-250 Super Duty.
Yes. So when we lived in Asheville, North Carolina, we actually got a truck tent for that and used it once, and we still have it. But it was the most amazing experience, and they had like a specific air mattress that would fit in the bed of truck as well, and it was so comfy. So if they do make one for something like this,
bed's too small.
Yeah, I mean it can only be for little people, but I think
little people only.
Talk
about a bad sales pitch.
Well, I mean, I with the one that I had, it actually extended a little bit further out than the bed, so you might be able to get away with it.
Okay.
What's our MPG right now?
Oh, I don't know. I'll check when we get back to the office.
Okay.
Like fuel economy, 35 MPG.
35 MPG.
That's with me driving.
Yeah. So that's with all the random accelerations and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's with a lot of like random full throttle stuff, right? Yeah, so this whole drive since I got the truck dropped off, I've driven it 26.4 miles and I've averaged 36.3 mpg, and that's like driving it a little bit more aggressively than I think I would probably even drive it, because we were showing some of the noise and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And there's our smart car that we need to unplug.
Oh, we forgot to take it off the charger.
Whoops.
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 Thing's been full for like the last 2 hours.
Hey.
That's all you, Alyssa.
You gotta keep her full.
No.
She's a hungry gal with
all
all
well,
that whistling.
The Ford Maverick hybrid, I'm really enamored with this vehicle. Very few faults. I think the only two I can genuinely think of are no air vents, and there was one more, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, the temperature is on the wrong side. That should be over here.
Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous.
Other than that, like, can you just, like, you have to factor in the price, the use case. I could see everyone driving one of these, and honestly, if we replace half of these F-150s that are just guzzling fuel all the time, not that I'm like Mr. Environmentalist, but I think this really has the chance to decrease carbon emissions and CO2 more potentially than just a straight up battery electric vehicle, because it costs half the price of a Mustang Mach-E base. And so yeah, I guess we would have to do the math. Do two of these equal one battery electric vehicle on the road in terms of emission savings?
Are there any features that combat or prevent accidentally locking the keys inside? I'm sure Kyle will figure that out by the end of the week.
Gosh. I've locked keys in Fords, but there's also a keypad on the side. The problem is they never tell us what the code is.
Right, and then it takes forever to get the code.
Disaster. When we had the F-150 hybrid, wait, so I have driven another hybrid truck, the Power Boost. Yeah, locked the keys in that running for like 6 hours.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, and we had to drive all the way to Denver, get the spare set of keys from Ford, and then come back up here.
Thank God it was a hybrid.
Yeah, because it was just idled if it wasn't. We felt so bad about that, but it was one of our colleagues did that. It's okay.
It was you.
No, it was Liam.
Oh, I thought it was you.
No, because we were filming the E-Class versus F-150 Power Boost Platinum, which is weird, but they're two luxury car versus luxury truck, and we locked the keys in that one. Yep. And they didn't know what the door keypad code was.
Yeah, no, they didn't, which was weird. So
yeah,
we had
there was
to go.
no service, so they couldn't remote unlock it because we were in the middle of the mountains.
Right.
That was the problem.
Let's take a look at the key fob. Just 1 second. So I'm trying to get in focus. There's your key fob. Yeah. Pretty nice. And that should wrap it up.
Get ready for some Ioniq 5 videos this week, everyone. Not that we haven't had enough of that car, but we're doing more.
Even more.
Yep.
Even more to
because
come.
my dad's buying his tomorrow, so I'm going with him to take delivery.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for tagging along, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.